right here on Penn's Peak Radio. Got a few minutes after the top of the hour. Second hour of the show is always when I have my live interview. So we're going to be chatting with Donica Knight. She has been on the show before. So excited to have her back on the show. Hey, Donica, how you doing?
Hey, Casey. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. I'm so excited to have you back. I know you got some new and exciting things going on, and I always like that. We always make a point of saying, hey, listen, you got something new going on. You let us know, and you're always welcome back on the show. So that's always a fun thing when my artists tend to come back and tell me about some new and exciting things that they've had going on in their career. So I appreciate you taking time today, Donica, and checking back with us. But first, before we get into the new and exciting stuff, just in case some folks might have missed the initial interview, and I think it was back in November. It was sometime last year, so it's been a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your background for those who might have missed that, don't know where you're coming from, and a little bit more about how you got to where you are now. Why don't you give us a little bit of a background?
Yeah, well, I'm from the beautiful state of Alabama, born and raised in a town called Millbrook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right by Montgomery, the capital of Alabama. And I just always sang. That was my gift when I was wee little. I had my first solo in first grade, and it's always been a passion and something that I've always gravitated to. It's always made me happy. I just love singing, and it reflects and makes other people happy. And so that was always one of my favorite things to do growing up, was singing and playing sports. And I loved softball and volleyball. And whenever I graduated high school, I wanted to sing in church, and I was doing singing in church, and I wanted to continue in singing more and singing every day. So I was studying special education and exercise science, using my athletic ability to help people with exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was going and helping with exercises and learning how to help people with their daily activities, I would sing to them.
Aw.
Turns out that that's what helps them more than anything that I was studying and focusing my energy on. So I decided to make a shift and focus my energy on music and singing, and try to make a career out of that, because it was what helped and felt right.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been so blessed. I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I first started off going to Atlanta because I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to do. I love acting. I love singing, and I also liked a little bit of modeling and taking pictures here or there.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of learning the art of entertainment. And I joined a cover band and just realized how much I love singing with a live band and putting on a show. And it led me to writing songs and wanting to do my own original music. So started shifting gears from Atlanta to Nashville, since I am from the South, and I'm an Alabama girl, so I got a lot of country in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
So it made sense to start writing in Nashville. And I've just been so blessed along the way. I've worked with some incredible people and been given beautiful gifts and opportunities, and I have an incredible life.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing music. I've put out 2 albums.
Right.
The album was right when I started going to Nashville, and I started working with a guy named Blake Mevis, who recorded George Strait and Tammy Wynette, and just some legendary people. And we produced a classic country album. And on that album, I only wrote 1 song. And going and perform it live, that was my favorite song to do. So zoom forward to a few years and several shows underneath my belt, I decided to write my first record myself and have songs that I wrote. And this is what I've been promoting since March. Is an album called Can't Buy Southern Girl, and I'm proud to say that I wrote the song. And I've been doing a radio tour. Every day's been a new experience.
Well, it sounds like, you're kind of, leading a really interesting, simple, but kind of very busy life. But you're just taking one step at a time. You're not rushing anything. You're just kind of like letting it kind of come to you. And I think that's a very interesting talent. I think sometimes people get too wrapped up in what's next, but it sounds like you're kind of like living the dream every day and getting the most out of it. Am I right? Is that how you feel, or am I'm off base there?
Yeah, you definitely nailed it on the head. When I first started and in my first album, it was definitely a rush thing because I thought that that's what I needed to do, and it felt right. But I was just learning.
Mm-hmm.
So going back and looking at the first album compared to the second album and how much I've grown and developed over the past, it was 3 years since I put the other one out. Just in 3 years. It blows my mind because I just took it a lot slower and do my second album. And it just gets me excited to see the growth and maturity that's happened within just 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what the next album's going to sound like. And by the time my 7th album rolls around, who knows?
That's awesome. Now, have you moved to Nashville?
I did, and then I moved back to Alabama.
Okay.
I moved there maybe 2 years ago, and I lived there for a year. And I just found myself traveling back to Alabama a lot because I book a lot of shows in Georgia and Florida and Mississippi, and it just turns out that Nashville's 4 hours away from where I am in Alabama, and that's the better scenario for me right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you've had some fun with doing some duets and being able to work with some pretty big guns in a short, a fairly short career. Tell us about one of those experiences that you like kind of like maybe tops the list a little bit of some of the experiences you've had so far in your career.
Yeah, I believe you're hitting at when I first started recording in Nashville, I was real lucky. I was working with a guy named Rolf Galbraith, and he produces Ronnie Millsap.
Mm-hmm.
So he took some songs over to Ronnie and introduced me to him, and Ronnie just loved my voice and said, hey, I want to do some duets with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the studio and did 2 songs, and one of them I wrote, and it was amazing because here's Ronnie Millsap, a legend who's had numerous #1 hits, and is just this incredible talent and beautiful person, and being a newbie and having somebody with success like him and somebody that you look up to kind of take you under his wing and validate that what you're doing is correct just makes you push and try harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was real blessed that I had that opportunity and ended up learning a whole lot and making some friends.
Now, there's also a little something in that I read too, other than working with Ronnie Millsap, something about an upcoming Tracy Lawrence film. Is this still upcoming, or is this something that happened?
Yeah, well, it's already been shot and
Okay.
been out and being released this year, towards the year.
Okay.
And going back to a couple of minutes when we were talking about how I started in the entertainment business, I was going to Atlanta and taking acting lessons. And it just so happens I got a role in a movie called Alabama Dirt. It was L.A. Dirt, and they ended up changing it. And I had this role.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I went and auditioned, they found out, hey, you do music. And I was like, yeah, I do. And they loved some of my songs that I had written and recorded. So 2 of my songs are in the film.
Nice.
I look forward to seeing that, and I just had a blast that day.
Well, it sounds like gosh, you tour, you write your own music, you got albums out, you worked with some major talent, you're in a film, your songs are in a film. You're ready to retire, girl.
Well, if I had some money in the bank, then that would be a different story. Doing what I love to do, but I definitely don't live in a mansion, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're pretty busy. I mean, you're doing, over 300 concerts a year, and you're opening up for kind of a cross, the cross genres of the country and the rock. Um, Out of all of those people, I mean, you have a list here that you've worked with and you've opened for. Did any of them really, really stick out, either on the country side or the rock side, out of some of those people that you've been opening for in the last couple of years?
Oh yeah, there's several people that stuck out, and some of them I've gotten to know and become friends with, and some of them I may not have met them, but I did get to go out in the audience after my performance and watch them perform live. But Joe Nichols, he's a great guy, and I'm really fond of Jamie Johnson. He's got the best heart, and he's a hard worker, and of course he's an Alabama boy, so I'm gonna like that. But I was just tickled pink when I found out that I was going to open up for Leonard Skinner one day, because I'm a big Southern rock girl, and being able to open up for people that you idolize or just the music that you really gravitate towards was a good feeling.
Did you get to meet Leonard Skinner and the boys there, or was it more of just an opening for them?
I was just opening for them, but I did get to go out in the audience and watch that one, and they put on a great show.
So when you're out there performing, you're doing some stuff off your new EP and getting some response. How's that been going for you?
Oh, it's been going better than I could have ever dreamed of. Been doing a radio tour, and I just wrapped that up last week or 2 weeks ago. The days are starting to get confused. But that was just so much fun. Right now I'm sitting at number 50 on the Music Row chart. Love Ain't a Prize. And I've traveled to a whole bunch of different states and seen a lot of America that I've never seen before. And being able to go to Wisconsin and sing a song and then be able to connect with somebody afterwards, or be able to make friends or touch somebody's life, it's an incredible experience. And just very fortunate that that's what I get to do.
Now you've done some videos already on some of your music, or at least the video for your new single, Acting Like a Lady, that's out. How was that experience? You said you had a little acting experience and you have the music background, and was that what you thought it would be like to do a music video, or was it something that kind of caught you off guard and was a little bit different than what you were expecting?
I guess I kind of went in with no expectations. You definitely dream about something, but I always try to go in without any expectations. I just want to do my best and have a good attitude the whole day. And my ultimate goal is to have the best product that I can. So whatever it takes for me to do my best is what I needed to do. So I had a lot of sleep going up to the music video. And it took 2 months to come up with a concept with Mo Fitzgibbon, me and Mo.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Was this something that you dreamed? Did you kind of have the clarity of the idea of what you wanted in the video, or was it a process?
It was a process. I definitely had some visions, but Mo had a lot of visions too. And whenever you're going to make a music video, I reached out to several different directors and talked to them about their concept and what they would see for Acting Like a Lady. And it just so happens that I was real fortunate to meet this lady named Mo, and especially doing a video called Acting Like a Lady, it made perfect sense to have a lady be in charge and be the director and help formulate the concept of what the song was trying to grab. And we just had a blast. I had no idea I'd turn into being a producer, but it's something I loved doing. So that was a big surprise to me. And it was a lot of fun going and picking out outfits and creating the visual aesthetics. And in one scene, you'll see there's this big old throne, because the lyrics say, "I'm going to live like a queen." So we rented a big throne from Warner Brothers. And just, I had no idea about prop houses, but you go and you rent props from a prop house, and just learned a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Had a blast, and I met some incredible people. There's some great dancers and girls in the video that were from Australia, and they were living in Los Angeles because that's where the video was shot. And just meeting a whole bunch of people from around the world, and all coming together because of music.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Nice. And on your website, DonicaKnight.com, folks can see the videos, and I like the way you also did like the behind the scenes video too, a little explanation about it and stuff. But they can see some of your videos there, and one of them, this Acting Like a Lady. Now, you wrote that song?
I did, yes. It's on my record, Can't Buy a Southern Girl.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about it. Now, does the video depict your idea of how you wrote the song, or is where the song came from you is different from the video and the idea of the video?
Well, the song was a whole process. It started off at one phase of its life, and then it started growing into what it is now. So at the end of the song, whenever I went to do the video, I was grabbing towards that, if that made any sense. The video wasn't how I started with creating this song, Acting Like a Lady. When I went to Nashville, there was a telephone booth, and it was old and dirty, and I just couldn't help but look at it because it said, "Let It Out." And I just saw that visual, and I was like, that's a pretty darn cool lyric, "Let It Out." And so I went to the writing room with my friend, Justin Flagg, and we started writing a song called "Let It Out." And it just evolved over the years into Acting Like a Lady. It was something I wrote maybe 4 years ago, and I always liked the song, but I wasn't happy about where it landed. So I revisited it, "Let It Out," whenever I started writing for this record, because it was a song that always just, I loved the lyrics. And then it turned into Acting Like a Lady, and it's just so much fun. It's got some saxophone in it, and it's rocking, and I just love doing it live.
Okay.
It makes me really happy.
Cool. Well, I think what we're going to do, Donica, if you can hang on a little bit longer, is I have to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back with that song, "Love Ain't a Prize," which is your current single that's out there. We've been talking about Acting Like a Lady, but should we play that one and let people give a listen to what it sounds like?
Yeah, let's do Acting Like a Lady, then we can hit them with the "Love Ain't a Prize."
All right, that sounds good. Now, this is off your EP that you have out there, and so excited to... How many songs are on this EP?
There's 5 songs, and then there's a bonus track out there called "Blood on My Boots" as well.
Okay. So they can get their hands on "Can't Buy a Southern Girl" off your website, off of iTunes. Is it on most of the electronics, the Amazons, all of those?
You nailed it. It's on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, on my Facebook page, and on my website.
Okay, so they can find it a couple of easy ways. So since we've been talking about this video that you can see on her website at DonicaKnight.com, we're going to play that tune coming up that was birthed as a different song and evolved and molted into a little tune that she now has out there on this EP that's out there, "Can't Buy a Southern Girl." We've got a song coming up from Donica Knight. It's a little something called "Acting Like a Lady." Can you hang in there for a little bit longer, Donica?
Heck yeah.
All right. That's what I like to hear. All right. We're going to be back with more Donica Knight, a little more about her music, a little bit more about some of the songs that are on this EP. And I have a question about something on her website. I'll let you think about that for a minute, but we'll be back in just a moment. More Donica Knight and more music coming up right after this. And you're hanging out with me, Casey, right here on the Wall to Wall Country Show, and one of my BFFs, Miss Donica Knight. How you doing? Are you still there with me, Donica?
I
Awesome. So that was Acting Like a Lady, quite the rockin' tune. I can see where you're pulling from the different genres that you like and you grew up with. You're pulling from a little bit here and a little bit there. And I'm very excited to see the video. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I am definitely pumped to see the video because I want to see all this in action along with the story behind the music too. So people can check out the video on your Facebook page, like you said. They can catch it on your website. And good music, good music. I mean, it's powerful. That was that had a lot going on in there.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're going to go check out that video.
I will, and everybody else should as well. You're all on the social medias and stuff, but there's something on your website that I'm curious about because it's kind of in a couple different places. What's the whole nightclub, joining the nightclub? Obviously, that's your last name, but what's that all about, and what would that get people who want to be part of the nightclub off your website?
Yeah, well, I've been very active in social media over the past year since I've been working and releasing this record, and I wanted to do something a little bit different and special that isn't in any format of my social media. It's a combination of all of my different social sites, like Facebook. If you go follow me on Facebook, and you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on Twitter, all three of them are different. I don't post the same thing in every single category. So you're going to find pictures on Instagram that you wouldn't see on Facebook.
Okay.
You would find videos on Facebook you wouldn't see on Twitter, and you'll find little thoughts in my head on Twitter you wouldn't see in other things. But the nightclub, it's a brand new thing that I just started over the summer, so we're definitely learning more about it. And I'm combining all of those social sites and putting everything on it, as well as having some pictures that aren't on site. And I have a blog that I'm just getting the grips on, so you can kind of follow my life, and you can connect with me and ask me questions, and just be a part of my journey.
Nice.
So it's a closer club to find out more about what's going on in my life and how you can be a part of it and how I want you to be a part of it. And, and give me suggestions of songs that you like. And sometimes I'll put up an MP3 of a track that's not released yet just to see if people like it. Yeah, so that's what the nightclub is. So you guys sign up and join and find out more about it.
Nice. And it sounds like it's something that people can sign up for free. Doesn't cost anything.
Yep.
Gets you discounted tickets, and it looks like you do giveaways on there and behind-the-scenes stuff. So a little bit more intimate connection to Donica than just hanging out with the regular social medias and stuff. So if you really want to get to know her and find out more about her and things like that, join the nightclub on the website, which is really kind of cool. Interesting perspective, really neat. And you're going to find everybody can join Facebook, but this kind of opens the door to a little bit more intimate connection with an artist, and I think that's a really cool idea. Good job. Nicely done. Some other stuff you got going on your website. You've got your tour listed on there. You've got your news of what's going on, new things that are happening. One of the other songs that we were talking about, we're going to get to, which is the single that you have out right now, is Love Ain't a Prize. And we're going to play that here in just a minute. But before we get there, because I don't want to hold you up too much longer, what's something that, can you give us a little sneak peek that maybe only people normally in the nightclub would know about, but something that's new and exciting coming up for you to encourage people to check into the nightclub and give a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge of something that you might have coming up in the near future, Donica?
Yeah, well, I definitely have some shows that I haven't posted yet on my website that's coming up, and just some good things have been happening behind the doors, and there's just some little events that's been going on, and you can find out more about the little secret stuff behind the doors on the nightclub that's revealing soon.
Okay.
So good things in the future, and I'm just really excited about where this record's leading me and growing every day.
Nice. Well, that sounds like a fine plan. Are you planning on getting out more of Southern and hitting the rest of the states, possibly coming up to Northeast Pennsylvania or Northwest area or something like that?
Heck yeah. I actually was in Pennsylvania 3 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
I know. I was up in, I got to look at the name of it. Is there a college state, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, that's Penn State.
Penn State. I went there.
Uh-huh.
And then some other place. Is it Selensburg, or I could be totally off on that one.
Uh-huh.
But I just went to Pennsylvania, and I'll be heading back up north around Labor Day. I know I have a show
Okay.
in Kentucky, and hopefully I'll be coming back to Pennsylvania some more.
Yeah, well, I mean, the doors to Penn Speak Radio are always open. If you can build it into your time frame, you're always welcome to swing by and do a little impromptu, play a little guitar, and, support any shows that you're doing up here. We'd be glad to do that for you.
Thank you.
So keep that in mind and tell Michael, let us know when you're going to be close to the area, and we can let you know how long of a drive it might be depending on where you're at. Penn State's a couple hours from here, but if you're more on the eastern side of the state, that's where we are. So.
All right. Well, definitely. I got that in my memory box now, so I'll have to hit you up.
There you go. And like I said, anytime, just let us know you're in the area. We'd love to have you in the studio. We always like to have some live guests in the studio as well. So plenty of room to hang out and rest your traveling bones for a little bit. But, well, it sounds like you got a lot of things going on. Tell us a little bit about this song, Love Ain't a Prize, because we're going to play that after we say goodbye to you. And then I also want to touch base just a little bit on this one song that is a little bit more meaningful on our military side. But tell us about this single that you have out right now.
Yeah, Love Ain't a Prize. It's the first single that I released on my Can't Buy a Southern Girl record. And I'm just excited that it's number 50 on Music Row right now, and hoping that it keeps moving on up. So we'll see tomorrow what it's ranked.
Right.
And I wanted to do a song that was powerful, song that reminded me of Aretha Franklin if she went country. And so with that mentality, we hit the songwriting room and started writing a song about love and self-worth, and how love and the love that I have and the love that other people have, that it's something that you definitely want to share with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a whole give and take situation. You gotta earn somebody's love through respect, and so it turned out we ended up writing "Can't Buy a Southern Girl." Because at the end of the day, you just can't buy somebody's love. You have to earn it. You have to love somebody back. And just real proud about this single.
Okay. All right. Love Ain't a Prize is coming up in just a minute. But one other tune that we're going to close out the show with to remind people to tune in on Sunday morning. The show starts at 8. The interview's always in the second hour in the Eastern time frame, so 9 a.m. If you missed any of this, of the previous chat with Donica, you can catch it again Sunday morning. And something that's a little different, Blood on My Boots. You mentioned it a little bit off air, but give us a little bit more about that one, because that's the one we're going to close out the show with.
Excellent. First, you can see some live videos that are pretty neat on YouTube for Blood on My Boots as well. I heard Chris Tonto Pronto speak. He's a survivor from the Benghazi attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Taya Kyle speak. And she's the widow of Chris Kyle. And just hearing both of them and their stories about what went on in their situation made me realize how much I did not know, and that what I did know was filtered, and that I didn't know the meat and potatoes behind their stories, and that I was just very grateful that we have brave people that serve in our military and serve for our country.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives the perspective of how I've never had blood on my boots, but I honor you and I respect you and I thank you for what you've done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the sacrifices people make to keep us safe and allow us to do what we do every day. It's kind of interesting stuff there, because I know it's like I love my job, and I get to get up and come to a radio station and have fun here with the staff and the shows and talk to great people like you, and it's because of the country we live in. So, as a matter of fact, coming up next week, we have a huge event coming up on Tuesday night, July the 27th, which is all about giving back to our troops, especially those who come back and find themselves in financial difficulty and just kind of at a loss. There's a mansion near here that a gentleman has donated to a cause to say they have the building built. It can house 20-some families. It's got a kitchen, it's got a laundromat, it's got a barber, it's got everything you need. But they're soliciting for some dollars to be able to open the doors and keep it sustainable, to allow 20-some military families who are struggling with poverty and struggling with financial difficulties to live in this mansion for a period of time until they can get back on their feet. And that's the gist. Yeah, that's the gist of it, and I thought that was pretty cool. So they approached us and said, would you guys do a fundraiser for us? And we've got this big fundraiser planned next Wednesday night, a week from tonight, as a matter of fact, the 27th, and we're very excited to be a part of that. And it's just another way to give back. Some military people come back, and they're just fine, and everything's great, and then there's others that fall to the wayside and get lost a little bit, and it's our job to help them, since the reason why they're lost is because they were out there kicking ass for us, so we try, and it's all about that. And it sounds like this song I'm going to play at the end of my show, called Blood on My Boots, will be a little something that will end up in our patriotic cart that will be played to remember what people do for us out there, so they're never forgotten, no matter where they are.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. We love that kind of stuff. Anything else? Have I missed anything? Is there something else you would like to throw out there, Donica, before I cut you loose? Looking forward to seeing more from you. Remember, you guys can get your hands on her EP off of her website, the iTunes, the Amazon, Twitter, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Catch her on social medias. Become a part of the nightclub. Sign up right there on her website at donicaknight.com. And keep an eye on this girl. She's climbing it one rung at a time, getting up there in the country music industry and doing some good things out there. If she happens to be in your neighborhood, be sure to go out and check her out. Say hi. Be friends with her on Facebook. Tell her you heard all about it right here on the Wall to Wall Country Show. But anything we might have missed that you want your fans to know about?
I think you nailed it on the head. If you have any questions, or I'd love to talk to anybody that wants to talk to me back on my social media, so feel free to send me some messages on Facebook or on my website or Instagram, and I'd love to talk with you.
Cool.
And I thank you for playing my music. And there's some songs that aren't being played that are on my record, so if you enjoy what you hear, feel free to go and listen to them.
Sure. Absolutely. Can't Buy a Southern Girl. Catch it. Some great music written and done by Miss Donica Knight. Don't forget to check out her videos as well. She's got some good ones. Of course, the one that we played a little while ago, Acting Like a Lady. Check that out. And there's some behind-the-scenes features also on her website. So, well, I appreciate you hanging out with me for, again, another day, and know that you're always welcome back. Please let me know if you're ever in PA. We'd love to have you in here, and best of luck to everything, girlfriend. I love what you're doing, and I think you're going to go far. But congratulations on what you've already achieved, and we wish you the best.
Well, I appreciate it, Casey. Thank you for having me.